Hey everybody, this is Nathan McCullough and Emran, what's your last name? Shah, coming from Jakarta, and I wanted to make a quick video real quick because we just jumped off our weekly 90-day to a bulletproof entrepreneurial mindset call, and Emran asked me a phenomenal question, and I wanted to actually just I thought there's probably a lot of people out there who had a similar question, and I thought maybe it would be good to actually just riff on it a little bit and share some of the ideas that we have on that. So, what was your question?
Cool. So when you first started out, did you use Facebook or did you use calling people? What did you do at the time? Because now we're using Facebook primarily because that's where most young people spend their time.
Yeah.
So what did you use when you started out?
Yeah, and then also, of course, on the 90-day program, the design is actually you're calling people in the first couple of weeks. And so the answer to that question is when I first started in the business, people didn't do Facebook and texting and all that stuff. And so what we did primarily was, in the network marketing industry, the dominant way of communicating with people was through the phone. And I was always told that no emails, like phone calls are the most powerful way of communicating with people because they're present to your energy and they can get who you are and you can acknowledge them personally and they really get your sincerity, your enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Like this business really is about the transference of energy, and when you are like super pumped about something, people are just like, even if they're a bit like, I'm not sure, they're like, this dude's like so pumped, like I wanna just check out what it is that's going on. And so the answer to that question is, I think that phone calls are definitely the most powerful means of communicating with people. And a small caveat is that I do think that it's a bit weird when we call people out of the blue sometimes. So one of the things that I love doing now is using Facebook and text messaging as a way of setting up the phone call. So I'll say, if someone pops into my head, I'll just be like, oh, I really want to call John, my friend John. He's super in business, he's great with people, he's an enthusiastic guy. And then I'll just jump on Facebook or text message or whatever the case may be, and I'll just say, hey John, look, I got something I want to share with you really quick. I'm super busy at the moment, but let's catch up for like a 60-second chat sometime this week. When are you available? Or hey John, I have this amazing project I'm working on, or I want to share something with you real quick. Let's catch up for coffee on sometime this week. What's best? What days work best for you? And what that does is it actually sets up the conversation so that when you do call, there's an expectation that call is going to happen. And a lot of times what it does is actually stokes somebody and it creates anticipation. And so they'll actually be like waiting for your phone call. That way when you do call, you don't feel like that awkward kind of like experience that the other person's waiting for you to say what it is that you're calling for or whatever. They're actually anticipating that you're calling to share something with them. So the invite actually picks up from the momentum that you created simply with a short text message. So you're able to use the dominant form of communication that people are using these days in order to set up the phone call. Because I do really understand the point that people say about text messaging and Facebook, that's the way that people dominantly communicate these days. And I am a big fan of making sure that we're communicating with people the way that they want to be communicated with. And the dominant forms of communication right now are definitely social media and text messaging. So I would say use the dominant form of communication in order to set up the phone call, because that phone call is really going to be what separates you from other people, and it allows you to really get that sort of energy transference that allows for a super powerful invite. So I know that you've done both this week. What have you found have been the most effective ways of getting some invites out there?
Honestly, phone calls, man.
Yeah.
Like I really found that obviously to get through to people, it's always Facebook because they're always on in the mobiles and the computers. But when I did the phone call invitation, which was I only did actually one phone call invitation, the conversation just flowed. It just flowed. I didn't have to feel like I'm trying, or I didn't feel like, oh, what are they going to say next, or waiting for the response. It was just a conversation. Yeah. So I would really recommend people to try that, especially young people. Yeah. It's refreshing.
Yep. Yeah. And I think that people really value the fact that you're willing to give them a phone call, and it creates posture, and it creates someone's the respect for people that you called them. It's kind of like getting a letter in the mail. Like, people don't hardly get phone calls anymore from somebody who's willing to like go out on a limb and do that, because most people take the easy route, which is boom, I'll send a message, right? Because there's no attachment there. So I think that is an awesome question. I don't think we haven't addressed that here so far, and I don't think that it's been addressed in the 90-day program as a whole, why it is that we are really asking people to get on the phone in the beginning, because the reality is that if you learn how to build your business on the phone, you will be 9 times more successful than any other network marketer out there. So let's use the dominant form of communication that people use, and then set it up for a phone call. That way we can execute powerfully.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Thanks for
So
that.
keep your questions coming, guys, because we'll continue to make videos like this if you guys find value in it. So love you. Try the method and then share with us how it went.